Peace and blessings, people. This is not a foot fetish video. This is yet more education. So today we're going to be talking about the health benefits of grounding, walking on the earth, okay? Now I know that it is deemed uncivilized and unprofessional to walk around barefooted, but it's important to know that our ancestors knew better than us, okay? There are some things that we've thrown away and that are major benefits to us, major benefits, health benefits to us. And it's so important that we know and understand that this is one of them. One of the ones that we've thrown away is the importance of eating food that is natural, okay, that is from the earth, all right? And we threw that away from man-made food. And now look at where we are. Most of the diseases that we experience today are diseases of nutrition, cancer, okay, obesity, heart disease, diabetes. All of these are diseases of nutrition. So what I like to do is come out here on Sankofa Tropical Farm, especially in the morning, and walk around barefooted. And I'll explain to you why this is not only just something that the hippies are doing now and they've made popular. I'll explain to you why a lot of the benefits that I'm talking about, they're backed by science. There's clinical data and trials that show that earthing, walking around barefooted, is something that is healing to the body. So I come out here on Sankofa Tropical Farm, check out the banana trees, check out the soursop trees, kamito trees, okay? In the back there you can see a custard apple tree, mulberry tree, moringa tree, neem tree. I come out here and I walk around and I'm in nature. This is my Garden of Eden, okay? And we began in Garden of Eden barefooted, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why this is a major benefit to you and why you should be actually adding this to your holistic regimen, okay? Now, the question I have for you today is this. How do you physically connect to the earth? How are you physically connecting to the earth? This is a very important question, and the reason why it's so important is because we have disconnected ourselves from nature in so many different ways. And so we have to re-examine our lifestyles today because our lifestyles are literally what's killing us. Our lifestyles are literally what's killing us and our distance from nature, okay? And we got to get back to it. It's so important that we get back to it. So today I'm going to explain to you the benefits of walking barefooted. And we'll take a little trip down memory lane real quick, and then we'll get to it. All right, so it's important to know that once upon a time, Europeans came into my ancestral lands and they saw that some of us were kings and queens and they saw some of us were walking around barefooted. And they called the barefooted ones savages, okay? And now hippies are walking around barefooted because they're conscious and elevated. And I'm gonna I want you to understand that not only did our ancestors walk around barefooted, but they knew the benefits of doing so. Okay, and I'll talk about that again in a second. But again, how do we connect physically to the earth? Most people think that's food. It's not just food, my friend. It's not just food. Most people think that it's a walk in the park. You know, it's going hiking. That's the lowest form of connecting physically with earth. Now, food, of course, definitely could be it's the most intimate way we connect with earth physically because the food we eat is what we become. So that's usually important. But one of the ways we can physically connect with the earth is by doing this, putting our foot on the earth, okay? And I'm gonna explain to you why that is so hugely beneficial, okay? Because this grounding or earthing that they call it today, AKA walking around barefooted, it represents a subtle transfer of energy from the ground to you. A subtle transfer of energy from the ground to you. Why is that so huge? Because the law of thermodynamics says that Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is merely transferred. Okay, so there's a transfer of energy from the earth to you. All right, and what is that transfer of energy? That transfer of energy is actually electricity. And how do I mean that? Well, the earth and we are also electric. Okay, the earth is electric because it holds billions upon billions of free electrons that we absorb each time we do this. Pow. When our feet are naked like this to the ground. Okay, so these billions of electrons, keyword electron, sounds like electricity. When our feet collide with it, those ions go up through the soles of our feet and go into our body. They electrify our body. Okay, so that's how the earth is electric. That electricity is coming from the sun, solar radiation hitting the earth. That electricity is coming from the core. That electricity is coming from the minerals and ions that are in the soil as well too. Okay, but it's passing up through us. Okay, we're electric beings. How are we electric? Well, our hearts need electricity to pump. Okay, we know that to be true. Why we know that to be true? Because if your heart stopped right now, we would put you in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. They would hit you with defibrillator paddles on each side of your heart, which would eventually ignite your heart, hopefully, and give you a new sinus rhythm or heartbeat. Okay, so we are electric in that sense. One of the number one drugs that is prescribed is a calcium channel blocker. What does a calcium channel blocker do? Calcium is an electrolyte, which some people call a mineral, but they're synonymous. Electrolyte, mineral. Okay, electrolyte, electric. Okay, calcium channel blocks a channel, increases calcium, increases the contraction of the heart, makes the heart contract more, a stronger pump, a more forceful pump to get more blood through when there's a blockage, when there's higher blood pressure. Okay, so it's hugely important that we know that our hearts are electric. Our blood is pumped by electricity. The same way the calcium contracts the heart, it contracts the blood vessels. The magnesium relaxes it. And magnesium is also an electrolyte. Okay, so hugely important. Also, there are billions upon billions of biochemical reactions that are taking place every day, every second, every moment of our lives underneath our consciousness that require electrolytes, that require electricity. So it's hugely important that we know and understand that we are electric beings, okay? Now let's talk about some of the benefits. One of the benefits is when you're walking around with your feet out like this, you're spreading them out, completely touching the earth. Now your feet are not inside of shoes, okay? It's important to know that shoes have been a cool design, but they were initially wood, then they became worse when they became plastic and rubbery. Rubber does not conduct electricity. Rubber does not conduct electricity, okay? And when we put our feet in shoes that crump them up together instead of spread our feet out, what happens is it throws our feet off balance. We either walk on the sides or the insole, okay? And that throws the balance off in our ankle. We have ankle problems. Our ankle problems cause an issue with our knees. Our knee problems cause an issue with our hips. Our hip problems cause an issue in our spine. And our spine usually causes an issue in our shoulders and neck, which ends up, we end up having headaches and migraines. Okay, so walking barefoot, it helps in that way. Okay, spreads the feet out, gets the feet loose. Okay, it improves sleep by normalizing the day-night cycle of the cortisol rhythm. Our sleep pattern is essentially marched by cortisol, okay? And doing this earthing or walking barefoot, it helps. It reduces pain and stress in the body, okay? It shifts our autonomic nervous system from sympathetic, which is excitatory, to parasympathetic, which is cool, calm, collected, okay? Huge benefit, because we see all this anxiety that people are going through today, all right? It increases the heart rate variability, which means less stress, and you happier, okay? Who wouldn't want more of that? It speeds up wound healing and cellular repair by putting all of these electrons in our body. that fight against free radicals that decrease our risk for cancer. It decreases blood viscosity, or the thickness of the blood, which again helps with the blood pressure. And it also improves our physical function, helps with knee, back pain, and a lot of us struggle with that. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope this has been sort of a true understanding of why it's so important that we get back to our original ways. And let me know in the comments if this is something that you've tried or are willing to try, going earthing, grounding, aka barefooted like our ancestors did. Peace and blessings. Until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.